Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. I hope your day is off to a fantastic start. We are continuing on today with my Best of 2023 series, and we're talking makeup today. Now, I have to say, I think that in terms of my beauty spending, I am most proud of how little I spent on makeup in 2023. And this actually has been a little bit of a trend for me for a few years now. I feel like you guys have probably noticed that as well. I have put a lot more emphasis on my skincare than I have on makeup. I used to definitely have more of a preference here on YouTube, at least in terms of my content, like talking about makeup. I used to be so excited to go to Sephora and buy the latest eyeshadow palette, you know, see what the best contour powder is out there, what the next best lip product was. I just don't really feel like I have the urge for that anymore. And I think that is largely due to the fact that I've really put most of my energy into skincare and hair care as of late. And honestly, the amount of money that I put into skincare has paid off really well for me. I'm very happy with where my skin is at 45. And I think the makeup that I already own actually looks better on my skin just because I've taken good care of my skin. So I feel like I just don't have the urge as much anymore to like dig into the makeup world. I also made the decision to kind of pull back from watching a lot of beauty content here on YouTube, and that also helped to kind of cure my my urge to constantly want to buy new makeup products. Here's the thing, eyeshadow palettes are fabulous, they're beautiful, and I did purchase I think 1 or 2 palettes last year, but I used to purchase like 5 to 10 palettes a year. That was outrageous. Like, I've gotten rid of so many eyeshadow palettes in my collection. There's an absurd amount of money that I have basically just gotten rid of in terms of makeup products from declutters that I've done. Now, I've always been really good. If things are still safe to be able to use, I've passed those things along to friends or my nieces, or at this point, it's Stella getting some of the things that I'm no longer really reaching for. But yeah, my makeup spending has been cut significantly, and I actually feel good about that. You know, every once in a while, if I'm just kind of perusing Sephora, I'm like, ooh, look at that. But I don't have the urge to shop makeup the way that I used to. And I think it's because I've been taking good care of my skin, and the stuff that I already have looks good on my skin. So why not use the stuff that I have, right? So I still have a fair amount of makeup. One word about makeup and how long you should keep it. There are lots of different camps out there. There are a lot of people who say follow, you know, on a lot of things that you pick up. Like there's, you know, expiration dates will tell you, like, for example, this particular compact here says that it has a shelf life of 12 months once opened. Is this compact more than 12 months old? Yes. So here's one thing that I definitely put some emphasis on if I'm gonna keep my older makeup is I go through it at least once a year. I not only clean everything on the outside, so all the compacts get cleaned with like Lysol wipes just to kill any bacteria on the outside, but I also open each compact of whatever it is. I take a look at the product. If it has changed textures, if it smells funky, if it doesn't look right, if it doesn't feel the same on my skin anymore, it's gone. So items like that get tossed in the trash. If it's just that I don't care for like the colors anymore, but it's still good in terms of, you know, someone else could still get some life out of it after I disinfect it, I will then disinfect those makeup products, and I just like to use 70% alcohol in a spray bottle. I spray all of my powders. No, it doesn't ruin the powder. Yes, you have to let that alcohol evaporate, but once it does kill a lot of the bacteria that may be living on your products. Now, powder products tend to last the longest, I think, but if you're dealing with a bunch of cream products, use a little more discretion with cream products. So for example, lipsticks, concealers, things like that, you might want to look at those items a little bit more carefully. But just be mindful, right? Like, makeup is a wonderful thing, but it can be dangerous if you are not paying attention to, you know, the consistency, the texture, the smell. If something needs to be tossed, toss it. It's better than risking an eye infection or something like that. So anyway, I wanted to take you guys through some of my favorites from last year. Some of these things I discovered last year, and some of them have been holy grails for me for a very long time. I decided to pick one thing from each category that I typically apply to my face every single day. So I will list and link all of these things in the description box down below if you'd like to go read other people's reviews, check ingredient decks, price point, other people's reviews. The description box is a plethora of information, so be sure to check that out. Also, I will put a link to yesterday's video in the description box down below as well, so if you're interested in my favorites in terms of what went up yesterday. Was it hair care? I think it was hair care. So I will link that down below, but without further ado, let's get into it, you guys. Let's get started with the primers. I discovered a few really great primers last year, but I think definitely for me, the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Primer, oh, love it. You should know I have oily skin. I'm 45, I still have oily skin. It's just my lot in life. So I'm always looking for primers that not only help to keep the oil at bay, but primers that help to blur the look of my pores because I have enlarged pores. I don't really deal with a lot of like other textural issues, but you know, the pores, they're still a thing. And I find that this not only extends the wear of my makeup so much longer into the day, like this is freaking fabulous, but it also helps to blur the look of my pores beautifully. You're gonna see two other products from this Pore Eclipse line because I discovered this line last year and fell in love with it. Listen, as far as like oily skin, this particular line I think is gonna be my go-to this year. I've just had really great luck with it. However, the Euphoria pregame primer was fantastic as well, as was the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm. I think that's what it's called. Both of those were great as well, but I just think in terms of like the best like oil protection, if you will, this Milk Pore Eclipse line just did it for me this year. I love this stuff. It doesn't clog my pores. It's not like scented or anything, like it's just fabulous. Cannot say enough good things about it. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Also, I need an eye primer because also my eyelids are oily. Everything is just oily on my head. My scalp, my eyes, not my eyeballs, my eyelids, my skin, it's just, my neck, oddly enough, it just stops right here. Nothing else is oily, but like my neck down, it's kind of normal, leaning dry. But the eye primer of choice for the longest time has been the Hourglass Veil Eye Primer. A lot of eye primers will make my eyes water. This one does not. It has a tint to it, so it acts as a little bit of a concealer. It's a thicker formula. This keeps the eyeshadow on all day long. It keeps my eyeshadow vibrant. It keeps the oil at bay. It keeps everything true to color, and I just get beautiful results. This is an eye primer worth splurging on in my eyes. I think that any primer is worth splurging on, because I don't know, if it works for you. Here's the thing, if it works for you, I think it's definitely worth splurging on. You might have an eye primer that's far less expensive than this one, and I have other primers that are less expensive that I also enjoy, but this is the one that I find myself repurchasing every time that I finish it. So that to me says that for me, this Hourglass Veil Eye Primer, which I think is right around $30 for this tiny tube, it's worth it to me, because also this lasts me like darn near a year. You use so little, like the tiniest amount. And by the time that November rolls around and there's another Sephora sale, I will pop this into my cart again and save 20% off, because yeah, I do like to buy that when I can get it on sale. But it's great, it's fantastic. All right, let's keep going with powder foundation. No surprise here, it's still Laura Geller Balance and Brighten. Is this the perfect color match for me? Nope, it's not. But I color correct it and it's worth it for me. I just have not found anything that wears as well as this, looks as beautiful in terms of the finish on my skin. It's fabulous. This is a fabulous powder foundation, and not very many people talk about it. And it bums me out because this is a fantastic product. Other than the fact that the color range really kind of blows. If you can find an amazing color match here, you are golden. Some of us have to adjust this a little bit, but man, is it worth it to me. I just love that foundation. So much so that at any given time, I have at least 5 or 6 backups. I'm always afraid that Laura Geller is, for whatever reason, gonna go out of business, and then I will have a meltdown because I won't have my favorite powder foundation. I would literally buy like 100 boxes if that ever happened. If I knew she was going out of business, I would be like, give me 100 boxes. I will figure out some kind of storage solution to keep them like fresh for the next however many years I need to. Like, I will figure it out. But I cannot be without that powder foundation. It's a game changer. Also, setting powder. Hey, look what we have here. It's the Milk Pore Eclipse setting powder. I have the shade Translucent because that is the shade that I am in life, is translucent. Listen, this is a wonderful setting powder. It plays really nicely with the primer. Also plays really nicely with the setting powder, which we'll meet this at the end of the routine. But in terms of order of application, this guy is my setting powder of choice from 2023. I've tried many powders last year. There's some really great ones. The Fenty one was fantastic. The Uma powder was fantastic. Yeah, there's tons of great setting powders. But this one here, again, helps to blur the look of my pores, helps to keep that oil at bay. It just makes my skin look smooth, gorgeous, and a great fit for my oily skin. Contour powder. It's still this bad boy. This has been a favorite ever since my friend Susan foisted it upon me. She was like, this is the contour powder for you. You need to try this. So ever since then, I have repurchased it multiple times. In fact, I have 2 backups. Easily accessible. Yeah, see, yeah, there's 2 boxes in here right now. Because when I order it, I order like 3 at a time. I think I only go through 1 a year, probably. I don't need to order backups of this thing, but I do. Also, in case like I lose one, like if we're traveling and I forget it or it breaks or something, I just need this. I need this. Sorry, I do. This is the contour powder that works the best for me. It's the shade medium. It really does provide like a natural looking contour. I use it every single day to contour my cheekbones, around my jawline, down the sides of my nose, and a little bit around my forehead. It always looks natural unless I do a crappy job blending it, but it blends quite easily, so if I'm not lazy, it usually looks great most days. And it's just a wonderful product. And I cannot thank my friend Susan enough for being like, listen, I know it's expensive, but you need to try it. Susan was right. It's expensive for what it is, but it's a hella good contour powder. And the shade Light, nope, no. You would think that I would probably pick the Light, but it's the medium that is the rock star for me. Okay, in terms of blushes, I'm gonna give it to the Hourglass blushes again. I reached for so many of my Hourglass blushes last year. I just grabbed this compact here. This one has a bronzer, a blush in the middle, and then a highlighting powder over here. But it's the blush. And I have another one of these from the holiday season a few years ago. I have several singles. I just love these Hourglass blushes. One, they stay put on my skin. I feel like they stay vibrant all day long. 2, they give me a really beautiful glow without accentuating the look of my pores. 3, they're easy to work with. I feel like it's hard to like put on too much to begin with. They blend so beautifully, and they look like your skin is glowing from within. There is no other blush that gives me that particular effect, from like that glow from within look. These just are pure perfection. They are spendy, but I don't know. I'm a sucker for Hourglass, obviously, and their blushes, if you have never tried them, if you don't want to get like a compact like this or something like that, pick one of the colors. Sometimes I think at Sephora they have some minis. Get a mini, start with a mini, but just try them. They're such good blushes, you guys. I promise you that they're amazing. If I had to give you like another alternative, I would say the Tarte 12-Hour Amazonian Clay blushes. Those are probably, that would be my other recommendation. There's some really beautiful shades, but again, they don't give you that glow necessarily. The Hourglass, their formulation is just magical. All right, let's talk eyeshadows. Now, originally, I only had pulled out this palette. I bought this last year. I fell in love with it. I've been reaching for it nonstop. It's the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I cannot stop reaching for this. I absolutely love this. Why are you not focusing? Focus. I just cannot stop reaching for this thing. I've gotten so much use out of it, and there's a few colors in here that I haven't played a whole lot with, but I think I've touched every single color in here now. And I love her formulation. Don't get me wrong, Viseart is still my all-time fave, but I do think that Natasha Denona is a really close second in terms of formulation. I really like her shimmers and like her pearl finishes. They're so beautiful. And this color palette just speaks to me. It's boring. It is somewhat bland, but I don't know, makes me feel pretty. Bland things, I guess, make me feel pretty, but I think this is fabulous. Now, that being said, I don't think that you have to splurge on this bad boy. If you're looking for a similar color palette, another eyeshadow palette that is crazy cheap. In fact, I think I saw this on sale at, I don't know if it's still on sale, but it was on sale for like $11.50 or something. These are regularly 14 bucks. This is the ColourPop That's Taupe palette. So you can see these two are kind of in the same family. So if you don't want to like splurge too much, I would say get this palette. You're going to get a lot of similar colors that are in here. And again, significantly less money for this bad boy here. But I really like these ColourPop eyeshadow palettes. Do I think that they stay as long and as vibrant as the Natasha Denona as long into the day? No, I wouldn't say that, but use a good eye primer and you'll get a lot further with that. But I just think for this price point, you cannot pass this palette up. In fact, Stella wants one of these for herself, so I think for her birthday, I think I might pick her up this one. There's also a slightly larger one that I can't remember what that one was called. So like something like Fox palette. That's probably wrong. But anyway, there's a large version that has very similar colors to this as well. I'll see if I can link that one down below. And that's still gonna be less than this bad boy here, but I'm telling you, the Natasha Denona formula, it's worth splurging on if you're willing to splurge, right? All right, let's keep going. Always still get questions about my eyebrows. So if you are new here, these are tattooed on my face. That's right. They're micro shaded. They're micro shaded. They're not technically tattooed, but that's what this is. They are permanent. I wake up with them every single day and I love them. And I will never not have eyebrows. In fact, last year was the first year where I got them touched up. I can't remember, it must have been towards the spring that I did that, but I had them touched up and it had been, I think, 4 years since the last time that I had the micro shading touched up. So it holds up incredibly well on me. Microblading did not work out for me because it's not a good fit for oily skin. Micro shading, yes. So if you're in the market, find a really great tattoo artist. I love mine. Her name's Rio, and I just adore her. Like, she's just the sweetest lady to begin with, but she just is meticulous about, you know, tattooing. She also like does like tattoos, like body tattoos. In fact, I think she's gonna be doing a tattoo of Mr. Kong for me this year, so I'm really excited to get that. But yeah, find a good tattoo artist and do your research, but fabulous. Would recommend. So she like matched my gray brows to my hair. That's what I asked her to do, and she did it perfectly. So love her. Anyway, I do apply SPF every single day of my life because you have to. Like, don't not wear SPF. You should wear SPF every single day. But that does like tone down the color just a little bit. So I'm still going over my brows every day, just very lightly. And you can see how far down I am on this bad boy. This is now discontinued. I talked about this for years as my go-to gray brow powder. It was from Tarte. They call these the Amazonian Clay Volumizing Brow Powders, and they have the shade gray. And it's the perfect match. So I just take this Artiste brush and just very lightly go over, and then just like run that literally like that through my brows, and it brings that same color that, you know, is there without makeup over top back. So I don't need to do this step. If I don't want to do this, I can also just take a makeup wipe and wipe a little bit of that SPF off. But honestly, I don't love doing that. I think it's important to protect the skin. So That's why the SPF goes over top. Anyway, I love this product so much that I purchased this many backups of it. So while you can't get this, I'm sorry that you can't get it, but man, it was perfect. I really think Tarte should bring this back. It was the perfect color of gray. They are still not making the amount of gray hair, like brow products that they should out there in the world. There are a lot of us out there who have gray brows, and not everybody wants taupe. Like the taupe didn't look good on me with the gray hair. Like I think it looked silly. You know, if you like taupe with your gray hair, then you should do that, but I don't think it looked right on me. So I was constantly looking for the perfect gray powder. And when I found that, I was like, this is it. And then of course, not long after I discovered it, Tarte decided to discontinue it. So I just went ham on their website, and when it was on sale for like $5, bought like a ton. So they're sealed, they'll be fine. I'm gonna keep using them. All right, my mascara pick for you guys. I love so many mascaras. I could have listed off a ton, but I'm gonna give you the cheap drugstore favorite. It is my CoverGirl Clump Crusher. I love this one. I just get it in the very black shade. If you want volumized, separated lashes, this is the formula for you. I love CoverGirl mascaras. I think out of all the drugstore mascaras, CoverGirl has the best. But this one has a plastic bristle wand. It has a little bit of a curve to it, as you can see. It just hugs my lashes so beautifully. Does this give me the thickest lashes? No, but it gives me beautiful everyday volume very easily without a single clump in sight. And I don't feel like I have to separate my lashes afterwards either. Grammar, words, wrong order. I don't feel like I have to separate my lashes afterwards because this comb does such a good job of just combing through everything and separating the lashes as you go. If you've never tried this one, man, I'm telling you, this is like the best. 12 bucks. When did drugstore mascara get to be like $12, $13? Every time I go to Fred Meyer, I am astounded at the price of drugstore makeup these days. Like, it's not far off from like a lot of Sephora pricing. It's still less expensive, but yeah, drugstore makeup has really increased in price over the years. But anyway, this Clump Crusher, get it, it's so good. All right, sorry about that little interruption. There was a delivery at the door. Anyway, let's go on to lip products. Now, I have a liner and a gloss recommendation that I fell in love with last year. Both are drugstore, so quite affordable. In fact, you can find both at Ulta very easily. This is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Oh Snap. I'm wearing this on my lips today. No, I have not had my lip filler retouched. I've gotten some questions about that. You guys, I haven't touched it in a long time. My body just, it's not metabolizing the filler. Also, it's not migrating, so that's good. Knock on wood there. But yeah, like I haven't done anything to my lips. It's still the same filler that I've had. But I have been lining my lips, and I think that that just accentuates the fact that they're fuller, right? Anyway, I love this. It's a beautiful color. It's kind of a nice nudie, slightly mauvey pink. It is great for so many different nudie pink lipsticks. So if you're looking for an inexpensive lip liner, this Oh Snap shade is fabulous. Would recommend. Now, I wanted to either give you guys a gloss or lipstick favorite from last year. I opted for gloss because I felt like last year I reached for gloss a little bit more than I did for my actual lipsticks. And I discovered the This Is Milky Gloss line from NYX. Again, you can find this at Ulta. There's lots of other shades in the range, but this Ube Milk, again, I'm wearing this on my lips today, so this is the lip combo here. But yeah, like this just has such a pretty finish to it. It's decently opaque, so it has some good color payoff. It's such a smooth formula. It's not a thick and gloopy or gummy lip gloss at all. It just feels great on the lips. I feel like it's hydrating. It stays put decently long into the day, and I love the color. This Ube Milkshake is perfect. And these two could not be a more perfect pairing together. So If you're looking for a new lip combo, maybe for January that's affordable, this would be my lip combo of choice for you. All right, we're gonna finish it up now. We are ending it with a setting spray, and it is the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse setting spray, because it is only when I apply the trio that I get the very best oil control. Now, primer, great starting place, definitely does a good job. Powder with the primer, even better. But if you're looking for like the all day, like bulletproof summer makeup, you gotta top it off with the Pore Eclipse setting spray. I actually bought this product first and I really liked it over last summer. It paired well with the other primers that I mentioned earlier, but honestly, when you put these three together, you are going to get the most incredible wear out of your makeup if you have oily skin. Plus this has a really lovely mist to it. It's not overly fragrant. It's just fantastic. This is a great formula, you guys. Try it. If you're struggling with oily skin, check out the Pore Eclipse line. I'm telling you, it is fabulous and I will not be without it. Anyway, you guys, that's it for the makeup favorites for 2023. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about skincare. I have my little skincare bucket next to me here. So we're gonna go through the favorites from the skincare category tomorrow. I am curious to see what you guys think is gonna be in that. So leave your guesses down below, but I also want you to tell me what your favorite makeup picks were from 2023. Is there anything that you think I should definitely check out makeup-wise? I feel like I'm so content with what I currently have, but I do want to pick up like a couple new things here and there. And also I need to do a little declutter here when it comes to the makeup. So maybe I will take you guys along on that declutter journey when it comes to the makeup. Let me know if you're interested in that. Anyway, check out the description box for links to everything that I mentioned here. Please subscribe if you're new. Give this video a big fat thumbs up, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Toodaloo.